The Rebuild, a Fins podcast with Ty and Cass.
What's up, Dolphin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Rebuild podcast. As always, I am your co-host, Tyler. Joining me today on the episode, of course, is the man, the myth, the legend, Cass. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. I missed two episodes, and I'm the man, the myth, the legend now.
The fans are very interested in what you have to say. You're coming quietly, but you gotta, you're the man, the myth. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but welcome everyone to the episode. Before we get started, as always, go ahead and hit the QR code there to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe and like. Also follow us on Twitter at Rebuild the Fins. Growing the socials. We appreciate all the support. As every week, Cass, as we do these episodes, a lot more info each week comes in for this Miami Dolphin team. And I would like to start with the week at the NFL Combine, obviously with all the interviews that Hafley and Sully had over the last few days. And kind of wanted to go over that and get your thoughts. To kind of start, I will say that, I don't know if like Sully being a first-time general manager and, this is his first time in this role, obviously, and how naive he might be of how open he is. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he is very, very open and genuine with his answers. Whereas I feel like with Chris Greer, obviously over his time, he didn't even want to talk to media ever. So I feel it's a little refreshing as a fan base, but I wonder, is it a little naiveness to him where, he's given a little more info than maybe he needs to share. What do you think on that?
I think it's misdirection. I think he's leading people on to think that.
Yeah,
he's going to go in another direction.
That's definitely a good point. For sure, the one thing he talked about, a lot of things regarding Tua, which we'll get into. He talked about kind of like that free agency, of what are they going to do in the next steps with quarterbacks. They talked about with like Devon and Waddle, they want him there. They want them to be part of this team, but they will be 100% open to a trade. So I just feel like they were very open, which again is refreshing from a fan perspective, but it's just funny hearing different people's perspective. Like, man, this guy's he's like an open book right now. Let's start with the most important position, obviously, and the things that most people want to, understand is that quarterback position. And we'll start with Tua. He mentioned, as we all are aware, the Tua situation is obviously kind of that umbrella hovering over the organization for this offseason. There's obviously 3 or 4 routes that can go on. They can keep him. They can cut him, obviously, pre or post June 1st, or obviously trade him, right? So we obviously understand that the trade is the one that they obviously would hope, but it seems very unlikely. The one thing that he did say, which, we've talked about this on numerous episodes, is there a potential where they're going to cut him a pre-June 1st and basically eat that $99 million contract? Well, we know the answer to that now is going to be absolutely not. He's not going to do it. Like, he talked about that in his press conference, in numerous questionnaires with other people, that it is not something that they are going to do. It's not possible for how they want to run this run this offseason. So we know for sure that's not going to happen, which we've talked about. I think we thought that might have been an idea just because the season's going to be rough anyway. Kind of take your lumps, just get it all done with this year, and then next year kind of free. That is not going to happen. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I want them to do something, and I want to do it quick so we don't have to talk about Tua anymore.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah.
What I saw was like the most likely situation, or what I heard people talking about was if they could get a trade partner and they would still take on a lump of the salary.
Yeah.
And like, hey, you take Tua, we'll take on a lump of his salary, you take on a small. I think that's probably more realistic, and we'll see what goes along with that. I don't know who would take him on.
It was kind of funny too, because, if you listen to his initial kind of questions and answers of Tua, like the first 3 or 4 people he talked about just trading Tua. Like, he said, everything's on the table, trading Tua, cutting Tua. Like, he kind of talked about everything. But as the day went on, if, kind of noticed with other, people he talked to, he started mentioning, well, maybe Tua will be back. He kind of threw that in there as well, which I don't believe is likely, but it's something that, he kind of took his tracks back a little bit and said, hey, like, actually, that is on the table along with the other items that we said. Just quickly, I wanted to read this just so we're all on the same page regarding 2 of the 4 outcomes that could potentially happen regarding cutting him. So if he's an outright release pre-June 1st, the cap hit is $99 million, which again, we know is not going to happen. Sully confirmed that. The other 2 options, now in his contract, he has basically an option of $15 million that hits to the cap, and they have to, basically go with that option. So there's a decline that option of the $15 million post June 1st. In 2026, Miami's dead cap will be $67 million. And then in 2027, there'll be a $31 million cap hit. So kind of breaking it two. If they exercise that option with Tua post June 1st again, there's a $55 million cap hit and then a $43 million cap hit in 27. So that's kind of splitting it up. It seems like one of those first 2 options are going to be the play. Those are going to be the most likely route. Now, again, there is a 4th option, is essentially where you take the option, you convert his base salary into probably like a signing bonus or along those lines, and obviously a post June 1st. The 26 cap hit would only be $25 million, but then that 27 cap hit is going to be $74 million. So that route's not going to happen because they want this over with for the most part by 27. They don't want to be taking the hit. That would have been the most likely scenario if Malik Willis probably comes into play because they need money. They don't have any money to offer some sort of big contract that Malik Willis might potentially get. But regardless, the Tua thing, I think as a fan base, we want to kind of move on from this one way or the other. But I think this is going to drag out a little bit because nothing's happening until after June. So unless they find a trade partner, of course.
And there was so much talk about Tua. That's why I said I think there's a lot of misdirection because that's just a big topic just to like get you away from like what we're really trying to do. Like, hey, let's talk about Tua. This will distract you. What I would like to see, and we had some news about it, right? And we talked about this last episode, was Anthony Richardson. He said, hey, I want out. They agreed, and he's open to a free agent.
Yeah, for people who aren't familiar, today, broking Adam Schefter, the Indianapolis Colts have allowed Anthony Richardson essentially to seek a trade partner and kind of facilitate that. So it seems like his days are numbered in Indianapolis. And we've talked about it a lot. To me, I mean, I think that has got to be an option for the Miami Dolphins in terms of trading for a quarterback. Now, the one thing, like I said, with Sully that I was a little disappointed with in his conversations at the draft combine, this week, was he said everything is on the table regarding quarterback. We understand the draft, we understand free agency, maybe Tua, but the one thing he did not say was when he listed out those items was trading for a quarterback. Now, we assume that is obviously an option, but I would have liked him to say that is something that they're actually seriously considering because it seems like that is not something they are considering. It's something that maybe still happens, but it's not something that's in their top choice, which to me upsets me because I don't want to go into the 2026 season with Quinn Ewers, a quarterback in the 26 draft class, and Joe Flacco or Marcus Mariota. I don't want that. I don't. Like, if we're not getting Malik Willis, I would rather trade for a quarterback like Will Levis or now Anthony Richardson, knowing we know it's official, and trade a 5th or 6th round pick and let those guys compete it out. Let Anthony Richardson compete it out, Quinn Ewers, and that 26th draft pick that they picked this year, which we talked a little bit about that. He already said that that's happening. He said it officially in an interview. Yeah, I think Halfway actually said it. They're drafting a quarterback this year. So someone is getting drafted. Now, whether that is a 3rd, 5th, 6th, that's still TBD, but there will be a quarterback drafted. So what are your thoughts on the idea of just trading for a quarterback? Because everyone on Twitter and, half the fan base is like, hey, like, why are we giving up draft picks? Well, my argument is if Anthony Richardson came out of this draft now, if he was in this draft class, he would probably go 1st overall, or if not, the 2nd quarterback taken in the 1st round. Yeah. So if you're giving up a 5th round pick for that or a 6th round pick, like, dude, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I like Anthony Richardson because he's young. I mean, there's a lot of red flags with him, and if he came out of college, then yeah, he would be a lot higher because you haven't seen him in the NFL. But the thing with him, he's young and you have seen him in the NFL. And it
Would you
hasn't.
like to list off the quarterbacks that he's younger with? Do you have that up or no?
I don't.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just so you're everyone's aware, Anthony Richardson is 23 years old. He's younger than Bo Nix, who was didn't get hurt, probably go to the Super Bowl. CJ Stroud, Caleb Williams, who had a great year last year. Tyler Shutt, the rookie, who had a great year. Shador Sanders, my guy here who loves, and Dylan Gabriel. Like the guy's 23 years old. He's not 28. Like the guy is he's a baby. He's a baby.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'm all for going.
Yeah.
He's young. We have seen what he's done in the NFL, and he's had very spurts here and there. But for the most part, it's not looked good. So maybe it's a system thing. Maybe it's a change of scenery. When I think about what we would give up, draft picks 5 and 6, the Colts could get that anywhere. What they really are looking for, because Pittman, it doesn't look like Pittman's going to be back.
Yeah.
But what they're really looking for is a wide receiver. So if they did want Waddle in a trade for Anthony Richardson, obviously they would.
Yeah, there would have to be picks, and we would. No, it's true.
They would have. Yeah, it would have to be some picks. It would be a bigger trade than a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
But would that be something you would be interested in if you had to give up Waddle to get Richardson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that would happen. But I mean, yeah, if we're talking, they're giving us a first-round pick and Anthony Richardson, and we're throwing in whatever, sure. I mean, I would be open to that. But
how about this?
Here's the thing: they don't even have first-round picks anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they gave up Sauce and stuff, or they got Sauce. Yeah.
So more realistically, what if you get a third-round pick and Anthony Richardson?
Hell no. Hell no.
So you don't like Richardson that much?
No. I like the Anthony Richardson we call them, say, hey, we'll give you a 5th-round pick. We want Anthony Richardson. Done deal. His contract, he's on his rookie deal. He's owed nothing for the next 2 years. It's literally a perfect situation. Honestly, knowing what I know now with Malik Willis wanting 30, probably getting $30 million. If I had to pick the two, I love Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis is special. Yeah. But for the cost of Anthony Richardson that's going to be in his contract and the kind of timeline where this is a 2-year thing. This would be this year, and he has a player option, I believe, for 27 in his rookie deal. Sign me up for that, because if regardless of what happens, he's going to compete. He's essentially a 5th-round pick in our eyes. He's not guaranteed shit. He's going to have to compete. He's going to have to beat out Quinn Ewers and whoever else, and sign me up for that, because that guy's a freak athlete. He's from Miami. He played at Florida. Don't tell me that a change of scenery potentially is not good for him. The guy has skill. He just needs to figure it out over his the season.
So here's my thing. Everything that you just said is going to be the pitch that the Colts are going to make to up his value. So it's not like we're going to get him for.
Yeah, but again, okay, right.
You're going to have to give up something. So to me, it's my question would be who are you willing to give up? You're not willing to give up Waddle to get him. Okay, so who are you willing to give up?
But again, if you look at Anthony Richardson specifically, right? He's not going in there to be a starting quarter. He's not going. Some team is not drafting him, or trading for him, being right away he's slotted he's our quarterback. If you look at the quarterback needy teams, right? The Jets, the Cardinals.
Yeah, he could start on the Jets or the Cardinals.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is they're not. Anthony Richardson is a guy that's going to come in and compete for a job, or he might come to a team like the LA Rams or the Minnesota Vikings as an example, where he does not need to come in right away and compete to be the guy, but he's going to be in a new system. He's going to kind of learn, especially under Stafford, and he might be that hair once Stafford decides to retire. That can make sense to me. Yeah. But he's not the New York Jets are not coming in there saying, we don't have a quarterback on our roster. We're going to trade for Anthony Richardson. He's our day one starter. That's not what they're doing. The Dolphins aren't doing that. The Dolphins are trading for him for potential upside and for him to compete for the job.
I kind of disagree with you. They're going to tell you he's going to compete, but if they're trading for Anthony Richardson,
not for a 5th-round pick,
he's gonna start. He would start on the Saints. He would start on the Cardinals. He would start.
No,
The
The
Jets,
Saints, no, they would not. No, he would not.
Yes.
The Saints, Tyler Schutz is really good. No, he would not.
Okay, he's not really good.
He had a really good year.
Yeah, he did not have a really good
Yes,
year.
he did.
No, he did not.
Oh my goodness.
Your usage of really good is very suspect.
Did Tyler Schutz who won Rookie of the Year? Did he not win Rookie of the Year?
He did not have a really good year. I don't believe that because you didn't win games.
Okay, well, yeah, the games. I'm not talking about that. Tyler Schutz a good quarterback. Like he would, he's a good quarterback.
All right.
But regardless,
we could agree to disagree.
Regardless, Anthony Richardson for a 5th-round pick would not be guaranteed the starting spot for Miami. He would have to compete it out with Ewers, which again is Sully's whole thing.
They would say
this isn't Malik Willis. This wouldn't be a Malik Willis situation. Malik Willis would be coming in here $30 million a year. He's your guy, regardless of what they say.
I'm not disagreeing that that's not the narrative, but if we have Anthony Richardson on our roster, he's starting. Like,
no,
you can't tell me that. They're going to say, oh, they're going to compete and all this stuff because they don't want to hand it to a 23-year-old and want him to feel like he earned it.
No. I agree that he would win the job most likely, but I think it would be an honest competition in that case because of what we're giving up. If you're giving him a 5th or 6th-round pick, there's literally no risk. Like, you're not risking anything other than the draft pick. But again, to all the people on Twitter who are like, oh my God, we need to hold picks. Guys, the 5th and 6th and 7th round, you're throwing darts and you're hoping someone sticks. You're essentially drafting a 23-year-old quarterback with this 5th-round pick that you're trading or 6th-round pick who's a freak in the best possible way. Yes. Is he polished? No, but he's a 5th or 6th-round pick, guys. Like, what are we talking about here?
What's the best possible way you could be a freak? I need some clarification.
I just want all Dolphin fans and all our viewers to realize what you will do when you see our quarterback for the Miami Dolphins run for a 1st down. That's one thing. I want you to think about that through all your years of watching football, especially during the Tua time.
Yeah.
How many times on your hand can you count when Tua ran for a 1st down? Maybe 3 times. One of them he got concussed. Or he was essentially running and got concussed. Like, my point is there's not a lot. And the other thing is, when was the last time your quarterback can throw the ball 70 yards with a flick of the wrist?
Yeah. So, I mean, listen, he is very athletic quarterback. He's big. He reminds me a lot of
Cam Newton.
He's a very raw Cam Newton.
Yes.
Very raw Cam Newton.
Yeah, right? No. I'm saying, but that would be your hope that he becomes. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
But here's the thing too: his camp is seeking out the trades too. So he's going to go somewhere where he feels like, hey, I could be the starter. So that's why I say, like, whatever the narrative is, he's going to start if we trade for him. I don't think a 5th or 6th gets it done. I think you're going to have to sweeten the pot a little bit for that. I don't know what that looks like, but to me,
I disagree on that. But you might be right, maybe. But I don't think. Yeah. If that's the case, then you're out on that. But I think this isn't going to cost you that much. Like, no one's giving him a 3rd-round pick. No one's doing that.
Yeah,
no one's doing that.
I'm honestly okay. Well, I'm honestly okay if they gave us like a 3rd or a 4th and Anthony Richardson for Waddle. I'd probably be okay with that. If they gave us draft picks.
I think you can get a lot for Waddle. I don't think Anthony Richardson would be that. But whatever, that's fine. I mean, I don't think they would do that. Like I said, I don't think they're. And we'll talk about this here, but I don't think they're actively trading. They're not actively trying to move Waddle or HN. And that was one thing Sully talked about in his press conference, or questions or whatever, that no one is untouchable. They asked him, like, is there any guys that they wouldn't touch? He said, no, listen, everyone is tradable for the right price, although they would like Waddle and HN to be part of their future. But again, if some team comes out and gives them an offer that they can't refuse, like, see you later.
That's the same thing when players say, oh, I want to retire here. Like, that's just the stuff you're supposed to.
No, I get it. So you think a lot of this stuff was smoke and mirror? You think a lot of this smoke?
Yeah. A lot of misdirection, a lot of distraction. Yeah.
See, I don't think that.
Yeah.
Well, I think Sully was the one thing I will say is he's very honest. He's very genuine and open. I feel like he just is. He's not blowing smoke up people's asses. Like, he's serious. Like,
we'll see.
When he talked about Malik Willis, which we'll talk about, he said he's expensive. He's going to be expensive. I wish him the best. Meaning they're not going after him. They're not getting in a bidding war for Malik Willis.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's honest. Like, if you know that's not an option, just
some people say, oh, that's smoke and mirror. Like they're not trying to build up, I don't know. Like it's
we'll see.
I think
you're reading into it. You're reading into it a lot. I would just say sit back and see. Like, I mean, new GM, you have to see how.
I feel like he's just being very honest because he's new.
Nah,
as the years go on, he's going to be less honest and more to the vest. I think he's just, the moment.
I don't think so though. I think it's a lot of misdirection.
Okay,
we'll see though. We'll see.
I will say that I think we got the right guy. Now, I want to say this because Sully right now is the most important person in the Dolphins organization from now until July, whenever mini camp. You know what I mean? Like what Halfley says, like he talked to, I didn't really watch a lot of it, but to be honest with you, I don't really care what he has to say because we don't have a team right now. You know what I mean? Like let the team get reconstructed, let the players come in. Then I'll start worrying about what Halfway has to say. But right now, it's all about John Eric Sullivan. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree with the Sullivan is more important than Halfley. I honestly cannot.
Right now, I'm saying.
Right now, yes. I honestly cannot hear Halfley speak. I don't know why. I just monotones, but I don't know why. But I'll say, listen, you have a lot of confidence, and I feel like it's a lot of blind confidence. Like to me, I
have confidence in Sully. I don't know if I have confidence.
That's what I'm saying. You have a lot of confidence in Sully, and I'm kind of just like, well, you got to show me what you do. Like and then once you show me, I'll be like, all right, Sully, you're the guy. But
I would just say that he talks like he knows what the hell he's doing, and he has a plan. I couldn't say that about Chris Greer. They didn't have a plan. It seemed like he at least has a plan, and at least him and Halfway, as we know, are on the same page. So
listen, just because your ex-girlfriend, your new girlfriend is prettier than your ex-girlfriend does not make your new girlfriend pretty. Okay. So just because Greer, which your favorite meme though.
Yeah.
Just because he wasn't out there.
I'm very sad that I won't be able to use my Chris Greer meme anymore.
Yeah, but just because Sully is talking and stuff does not mean he knows what he's doing. So I kind of just have to see what's going on. Just like Anthony Richardson might not be the move because he can run, and then your ex-girlfriend Tua can't. So all I'm saying.
I think that I really want a quarterback that can move, but
you have some emotional scars from GMs and quarterbacks that
I do.
Yeah, if we want to start a therapy fund, I think that might happen.
It would make a lot of sense because this team puts a lot of stress and sadness in my life that I don't need.
Yeah.
I just want the Dolphin community to. We all got to, at some point we're gonna have a quarterback and we're gonna have to back this person. But I do not see the harm at all of getting a quarterback with a late pick, and
I think it's fine.
Who's young, that is on a 2-year plan because we're on a 2-year plan anyway, and it's nothing going to change with the 27 pick. We're going to have a bad record regardless, most likely, and it's not affecting our pick in 27, which will be hopefully the future quarterback.
I'm all for Anthony Richardson if the price is right, and because again he's young and we're in a rebuild. He has a lot of potential, and that's kind of what you're going for in the draft for a quarterback is potential young. So I'm all for it. It just depends what we give up.
So what are your thoughts on, speaking of another quarterback with Malik Willis?
And worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, then we get high draft picks and we draft. So
again, I don't think it matters who's our quarterback anyway, because it's going to be we're going to have a top 5 pick.
Win-win.
I hate to say it, we're going to have a top 5 pick regardless. So it doesn't matter. So I just like the fact that these quarterbacks that we've talked about have upside versus we already know what Joe Flacco is. We already know what Jimmy Garoppolo is. We already know, we don't need that. We need guys who can maybe you can see something, So, but I wanted to go regarding Malik Willis. I wanted to just get your thoughts on, to you, is it telling that if the Dolphins don't go after him in terms of, because of the money, that says something about Halfley and Sully don't believe that he is the guy for the future. They were with him for so long, you know what I mean? They would know more than anybody.
To me, it's not about Malik. It's more about what they're trying to build in Miami, and they're trying to build it organically and they're trying to bring someone up young, bring them through the system.
Right.
I think when you look at Malik, you just look like, hey, I'm already spending a lot of money on a quarterback. I need to get good fast. I think what most teams where they want to be is they want to have a quarterback on a rookie contract, and they want to be able to win games. And then by the time you offer your quarterback big money, you already want to be established. So I think that's essentially what they're trying to do. To me, I think it's not about Malik. It's more about that.
So what would be the highest number you would give Malik in terms of year guaranteed money? Like you would go the $20 million route, 25 million. Like what would you go? Because Justin Fields got 20, and I believe.
Yeah, it would be something around Justin Fields' contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, for like, hey, you haven't really shown me you've done anything. If I'm any team, that's kind of what I'm looking for is like, hey, the Justin Fields kind of money, where that's good money for someone that really hasn't proven himself, to be honest. If someone pays more, like they either are higher up on him for whatever reason, or they're just real desperate. And so I don't know, maybe Cardinals. Like it kind of.
Yeah, I'm seeing the Cardinals. I'm seeing the Cardinals a lot.
Yeah, it makes sense for them because they're more established.
Yeah, they got a lot of weapons. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that kind of they're further along, so that makes sense. Especially if they they talk about cutting or trading Kyler. So actually, they talk about cutting them. I don't know about trading.
Cut it. Yeah, well, yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense for them, but for us, like year one of this rebuild, it to me it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I would be interested to see if Malik Willis would consider like a 1-year deal.
Yeah, probably not.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, I get it. Like he's going to want the 2-year, but I would be curious to see if, betting on himself, like getting a good contract, obviously guaranteed money that, obviously it's not, there's not those multiple years, but where he gets a year. Cause I mean, that's the thing. He's only had 6 starts, but he gets a year of starting and he shows some things and he gets a bigger contract. I don't know.
Listen, I have to move on and come to terms that we're not getting Shador. You have to move on and realize we're not getting Malik Willis.
I'm okay. Shador or Malik, Anthony Richardson, they're the same people to me.
We're not getting Malik or Shador. We could just close that door and we could see what happens with Anthony Richardson and go from there.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens here. But anything specifically stood out? Other things that mentioned during the draft combine that you wanted to?
No, I didn't watch a lot of it. I was really busy. I didn't watch a lot of it. Just watched some of the clips. Like I said, I listened to Sully. I didn't really listen to Halfley much, but to me, I like him talking sounds good, and he says all the stuff you want to hear. But I want more of a like, hey, show me type deal, and then I'll be all bought in like you. So I'm more of a wait and see.
Yeah, I would say that the Tua thing is going to definitely take some time.
Yeah.
I don't think they're trading for him. It's gonna take some time, but
before the season. Hopefully before the season.
Well, yeah, it will be in June.
Yeah.
At some point. Yeah. But I'm hoping that, they seriously consider a trade for a quarterback and we get to that point. But now the other thing too that I wanted to talk about, we talked Waddle.
Yeah.
Devon, he obviously wants a contract, he might sit out. He might hold out until he gets that contract. Man, that one's tough for me because to me, the guy's a top 3-4 running back.
Yeah.
He's going to want the money that's similar to those type of guys, but he's also so dynamic and so fast and just he's a playmaker. I don't know if you want to get rid of that, but I mean, man, I would be very open to trading him if the numbers make sense.
Yeah, to me, he's in the same boat as Jalen Waddle. Like, love the guy. If we were good, I would love to have both of them. Like, that's a fact. But we're not going to be good. We're not going to be good for years. You got to let those guys go when their stock is high. Because what happens? They get injured. They get a major injury this year, and then we can't trade them. So it's like, why are we even playing around? Trade them before the season starts. Get what you can. Start your rebuild. And to me, that's where we're at. And it's nothing against those guys because I love those guys. Like you said, I think Achane's a top 5 running back. I think Waddle's somewhere between 20, 15 wide receiver. He might be a little bit lower than 15, but like super talent, super fast, but we just have to sell high, don't wait. And that's the only thing. Like we want to bring them part of the organization. You say that stuff because you're supposed to say it, but really those guys you're not keeping. I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the fact of when we're good, how, like, what do they look like? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's like the tough part, but you also just don't want to get rid of them because like they are truly game breakers, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. There's a lot of talent at wide receiver, and then running back market, you know how that goes. So I'm almost like I think we'll be okay. Even if we got rid of them, got picks, we'll be okay. Look at the young guys that are coming out. Jackson Smith just won a Super Bowl, super
Yeah.
talented. Your boy from Ibuka from Tampa, super talented. Like you can find these guys. They're young, so I don't know, man. And Waddle's always hurt. Like I love Waddle. He's always hurt too. I would trade him now while he's healthy, stock high, get what you can for it, and just rebuild organically.
Yeah, it should be interesting. There's this week obviously finishes the combine and then free agency starts. So hopefully that will kind of give a little more answers to the offseason, and then the Tua thing will get wrapped up. But we appreciate you guys joining the episode. And yeah, we'll be in touch, and anything breaking, we will be on top of it, and you will get our opinion. So we appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your day.